Hey guys, Chef Jason for the Colorado Beef Council. It is Friday night. We are here for our January edition of Friday Night with Beef. And I'll tell you what, it's an interesting weekend. It's a fun weekend because normally this is the kickoff to the stock show. But I tell you what, stock show is obviously not happening this year, but they have some really awesome virtual things for you as well. So in the description section up there, be sure to click on those links because there's some really cool virtual events going on. And you can virtually shop at the stock show. Did you know that?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
So you can virtually shop. A lot of vendors have stuff loaded. I'll let you wiggle over. We're getting the dogs treats because they're being maniacs already. So I'm right here.
Sorry.
Okay. So we got this awesome. Colorado Beef Council has a really cool coloring page for you so your kids can color by numbers. I actually tried to color by numbers, and you do not want to see what that came out like, but there's a really cool ag adventure guide this year, all set and ready to go for you. Go to nationalwestern.com, right? That's what nationalwestern.com. You can go to the National Western Stock Show's website, get you all set and ready to go with some virtual fun. There's some ag education sessions, there's some virtual sessions, there's calf roping.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Can they do virtual, what's the sheep thing where they ride the sheep? What's that called? Mutton busting. Not virtual
It's hard to virtually mutton bust.
Well, you could do it with a stick horse.
Well, no, but you'd have to have like lots of kids in your house with muttons busting them. And who wants that in their house?
Well,
Okay.
that seems like that
So
would happen on a
virtually-
regular basis.
I
With
know, but virtual events, we have Catch a Calf, we have some ag education, virtual shopping, much more, and then the kids can all get in and grab that awesome ag adventure book. This paint, I'll tell you what, this color by number is pretty solid,
That's
right?
kinda cute.
I am not a coloring guy, you know that, but if I was, I would be set and ready to go. So, hey, thanks for joining us, Friday Night with Beef. Be sure to check in, say hi. Do we have anyone saying hi? Do we have any comments, anything?
Gosh,
rolling?
lots of people. We got 12 people.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, well, be sure to leave us some comments. Say hi, let us know where you are watching from here in beautiful Colorado. And again, thank you so much to all of our Colorado ranchers and producers for allowing us to come on every month and share the good word of beef with you. Tonight, Tammy and I were talking about recipes, right? And I said, Tammy, we have to do something, different and fun. And Tammy's like, we haven't done stew, like a big hearty deep stew. So as I was going through beefiswhatsfordinner.com, I found this amazing guy right here. Ann, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
That is red eye beef stew. So if you've ever had red eye gravy, I've never made that for you, and I apologize. I'm going to get in on that soon. Red eye gravy is that amazing gravy where they pour some coffee in it, and it's like the dregs of coffee, like the leftover coffee that's been sitting in your pot, slowly reducing all day long. Very fun, very beautiful, very robust. And we have a great recipe for you today as well. Don't forget, you can head to cobeef.com. That's Colorado Beef Council webpage, where you can grab recipes, all the tip sheets, and more. There's a little tab called Cooking. Click on that tab. You can grab everything you need to be a total beef rock star. So, any questions before we get started?
Nope, but do you want to say hi to a few people?
Let's do it.
Let's
say
start
hi.
with Alana Crawford, who's a small beef producer from Florissant,
I
Colorado.
love it. Florissant. I have not been down there. I need to get out more in Colorado.
We-
Maybe we should do a beef tour, babe.
Ooh.
Right?
That'd be
All
fun.
right. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Who else?
We got Mike Gallagher.
Mike Gallagher.
Oops,
Nice to see
sorry.
you.
Hold on. Almost brought him on the camera with us.
He would
Mike
like
Steffen, Jody Slider, Billy Banks,
Billy
Chance Mullins, Cheryl DiPaolo,
Cheryl.
Ron and Tomasa Martinez,
Tomasa, good to see you.
Roberto Venegas,
Nice to see everyone.
Matt Duval,
Matt Duval.
Bob Midland, Barry Chafin, Jane Aronson.
Jane Aronson. Good
Oh my
to see
goodness,
you.
we got the whole group here.
Love it. Any of our friends from the Beef Council here yet?
I'm not sure I'd know.
Tammy, Todd, all those folks? All right.
Not yet.
Come on in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Check this out. We're going backwards tonight, right? Because we're looking at about a 3-hour stew event here, okay? And this is perfect, too, right? Like, get this stew. You can serve it in one of your mugs. You can sit back with some crusty bread on the couch and enjoy stew and watch a little
Did
stock
you say
show.
crusty?
Crusty bread. All right, so check this out. Basically, here is where we're at. If you see that beautiful brown gravy, that is part of the stew, right? A little tomato sauce, all of that. Now, we're almost at the end. We've got about another 10 minutes to go. So I'm going to add the pea pods next at the very last part. And then we're gonna close this, and then we're gonna go backwards. Show you how to get there from the beginning. You know, I figured it was easier to do this than make everyone listen to us for 3 hours. Because I don't know what we talk about.
I mean, I'd have to nap somewhere in between there.
So, oops. We've got our Dutch oven, right? All set and ready to go. One of the things to keep in mind, you guys, when we talk about beef, all right, that is what we have. The recipe calls for shoulder roast, boneless shoulder roast, or bottom round. You can use sirloin, you can use top round, you can use chuck, you can use pot roast. We're using some chuck tonight to get things started. We're gonna start off too with a little bit of flour. All right, and in the flour, we've got some pepper, we've got some dried thyme. This is gonna help us get the beef all seasoned. So what we're gonna do, come on in here, dear. We're going in the pan with the beef. We're gonna sprinkle all but about 3 tablespoons of that flour on the beef. And then, I forgot my gloves. All right, so carefully, we're gonna get in here and toss that beef. We're gonna start off and get everything browned up because that's really, in my opinion, like the foundation of a really good stew starts off with browning the beef, because you're gonna get all those beef bits over there in that pan, and that's gonna come out later here and make a pretty fantastic.
Our neighbor Tammy is watching. Hi, Tammy.
Tammy, how are you? All right, so let me just wash my hands super quick. And where'd my towel go, babe? Right there, thank you. Okay, so we have our Dutch oven preheated. We're gonna go ahead and add some oil in there. All right, just a little bit in the bottom. And then what we're gonna do is carefully, we're gonna add about half of this beef, because we wanna brown this off in batches, right? So we wanna get that all set, ready to go. I don't know why we're not, should be sizzling a little bit better, right? All right, so we wanna brown this beef off in batches. That's gonna be the first step of this stew. And then I'll show you when we get those beautiful, tasty little nuggets in there, we are going crazy. Let's talk through ingredients real quick while that beef is getting ready. We've got onions, just a medium onion diced. We've got some coffee, so some brewed coffee. And like I said, the beauty of red eye gravy normally is this coffee may have been yesterday's, kind of hanging out, nice and strong. Cremini mushrooms, or also baby portobellos. We've got those set. We've got some baby carrots. I have these guys just so that they could finish up just a little bit easier. We have sugar snap peas, which are going to go in at the very end.
So that's kind of an unusual ingredient in a stew, yes?
What?
Snap peas?
Yeah, but you know what? It works great because like we did in this thing, we added them right at the end. So the beauty of this, you know, you and I love snap peas. We love when they're crunchy and beautiful. So that's what's going to happen. They're gonna finish up really, really nice. And then look at that Colorado Yukon Gold. Do you have a question?
Mike has a question. How much total stew meat?
2.5 pounds of total stew meat, Mike. Yeah, so like I said, you can use that bottom round, top round. You can use chuck. You can use sirloin. You can even use ground beef if you wanted. Obviously, if you're substituting ground beef, this recipe takes a lot less time. But 2.5 pounds. So we're going to start off in batches here. Get that all set and ready to go. We've got that coffee. We've got our onions. All right, and then let's go ahead and cut these guys up here real quick while we're waiting. The Yukons need to be quartered just so they cook a little bit faster.
Let me stir this.
What?
Let me stir this.
Yeah, if you want, go ahead. Boy, we like that beef to get nice and brown. You get those beautiful brown bits in that pan, and then just put them back flat on the bottom so they get a chance to get all crispy, crunchy. Like I said, I really think the foundation of stew, a good stew, is getting that beef browned off at the bottom. It just works so nice. All right, let me take over here.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard to do it one-handed.
nice and hot. We're just getting that flour sauteed. We're getting that beef done. We've got the flame on high. We are not slowing down at all. Let's go over here and take a look at what we've got going on this side. That's not too shabby, right? Again, this is going to be that end result of that stew. And you're going to, it's about, about 2.5, 3 hours total time. Because you obviously want that stew meat to finish off nice. But look at this. Look at the gravy. I mean, that for me is absolutely everything I love most about this, is getting that beautiful gravy. And it's got, I'll tell you what, it's got a really nice taste to it as well. So, okay, we're going to finish browning this beef off here real quick. And we do it in batches. So we'll get this first one browned off, and then we'll hold it in a bowl, and then we'll finish the other one off as well. Actually, I got to be honest, I have enough room to do it all in this Dutch oven, because this Dutch oven is pretty big. So we'll get this browned off here and set to go. All right. And then, like I said, you guys, we saved about 3 tablespoons of your flour that you use to season and brown with because we're going to use that to thicken it up a little bit at the end. Any questions? Anybody have any questions while we're browning beef here?
Nope.
We just want to get this part done here real quick for you, and then we're going to show you the rest of that process as well. And like I said, make sure you go into that description section. You can grab today's recipe, and then also if you go to cobeef.com, you can grab all of the recipes we have at, what are you looking at, my sous chef down here?
Yep.
My prep partner, he's waiting for beef as well. A big fan of the beef, that dog is. So, all right. Nice and easy. I'll tell you what, and I think you and I eat stew quite a bit, and you and I both know that stew is better the second day around. It's like pot roast. Pot roast is better. It's great day number 1, but day number 2, pot roast is even more tender.
It's more flavorful.
More flavorful, more tender. The same with the stew as well. So make some of this, enjoy it tonight, and then have a little bit tomorrow. The beauty of cooking a big batch like this is being able to cook once and eat
Like a lot.
2 or 3 times out of there, which works great. Stretches your dining dollar as well. Like the best takeout restaurant you have is in your house, they say. All right? All right, so I'm going to get these guys out of here real quick here. Give me 1 second here. All right, so when you get the beef brown, I just want to show everybody what we've got in the bottom of the pan, because this is a big part of it too. So, you know, I got to be honest, I've never been a fan of these tongs. They're pinchers.
Really?
Yeah.
I think those were a gift.
No, they weren't. I got these. They were mine. Because if they were a gift, I love them. They're the best tongs ever. All right, check this out. So we've got a little bit of that flour. We've got some of the beef bits. What we're going to do now is add a little bit more oil back in here. And now we're going to add the onions. So we want to take those onions until they start to brown and get a little bit of color on them. Then look at this. Can you see like those little beef bits? We're going to start picking up all those beef bits off the pan. And then we're going to deglaze it with the coffee. All right, so we'll give that just a minute to get set and ready to go. Let's hop over here, check in on this guy. Every time I use these tongs, I get pinched. No matter. All right, look at that. And again, this guy, like I said, we're 2.5, 3 hours in here. Let me take a little quality control.
We never double dip.
I may a little bit more salt on that. All right. So we'll get our onions sauteed, get those starting to break down, loosen up just a little bit. Then we're going to add that coffee. So like I said, this is just coffee I brewed yesterday and let sit around. You could totally get cold brew coffee if you wanted to have, you know, a stronger coffee. And I did go with the stronger coffee. I went with our, what do we have, French roast or Italian
French
roast?
roast.
So now, look at this. We're going to go ahead and stir this. All right. And now we're starting to get all, see how you can see all these bits coming off the side? That's what we want. We want everything coming off the pan. It's what we call deglazing. It kind of takes everything off that pan, gets it back into the coffee. And then I'm even stirring the bottom. We'll just let that sit for just a second. And then we'll get the rest of everything else ready for what we have to do next. Let me grab our recipe here. All right, so we're going to add that onion. We've got that coffee.
Oh, we do have a question.
Yeah.
We have a non-coffee drinker who wants to know if a store-bought refrigerated coffee would work.
Totally. Yeah, if you go to like City Market, Supers, any of your grocery stores, down, I don't know, where is it? By the eggs, maybe they have that brewed coffee. You could totally grab that or grab a couple cans of coffee. Just make sure it's not like latte or cappuccino because that may
Or
be
caramel flavored.
Yeah, or caramel macchiato. That might be a little bit weird, but yes, that will work just fine. Tomato paste, molasses, and Worcestershire. All right, so we are just kind of letting this go, right? We want those bits to come off. And you can tell when you scrape the bottom, you'll feel a little bit of roughness from that flour. That's kind of cooked to the bottom, and all of a sudden it starts feeling like a clean bottom because it scraped all that up. Your good question you had.
Jane Aronson wants to know if you use celery along with the onion.
I did not. You totally could use celery if you want. I don't in this. It just, I tell you what, this works. We made this earlier this week at our office just to test it, I say, but really just so we could have some fun lunch, and it worked out absolutely amazing. So, All right, now that we've got this all set, we're gonna add tomato paste, so about a 1/3 cup of tomato paste, and we'll just let that go for a second. We're gonna add a tablespoon of Worcestershire, and then we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of molasses. This molasses just absolutely does a fantastic
So
job.
is the molasses and the coffee being the ingredients that are unusual what make it red eye gravy?
No, red eye gravy, what makes it red eye gravy is more having that coffee in it. It's kind of that, like if you, like in the South, if you have red eye gravy, it's leftover coffee, but it's meant to give you a little bit of coffee buzz, and then in the morning you put it on your biscuits and gravy, and it helps get you rolling for the day. I'm gonna make it. One of my friends, Chris Larita, made some the other day, and I was told all about it. Like someone told me how fantastic it was, but I didn't get any. So we're gonna play around with it, I think, next week here at home. Do a little red eye gravy. All right, so bud, we've got molasses, we've got Worcestershire. We're gonna go ahead and sprinkle that flour on the top. Okay, this is gonna help thicken that gravy up a little bit for us. All right.
Hey Deb, hey Chance.
Chance, which Chance?
How many chances do you
A
know?
lot. I know two.
Villers.
Canode? Chance Villers. Nice to see you. I was in a.
Deb Schoenig,
Very nice to see you. Hi,
Deb McClure,
Deb.
Julie Tagmeyer.
Julie, good to see everyone. Thanks for tuning in and watching Friday Night with Beef. All right, so you can see the viscosity changed a little bit on this, right? As that flour started to thicken it up. Don't worry about that. If you're looking at that thinking, whoa, that is way too thick. A couple things you can do. You can add a little more coffee if you want. It's going to cook back down and reduce. Don't worry about it. Or when the beef cooks, when the veggies cook, when all of that cook, that's going to help thin it out as well. So, all right. So now, here's what we do. Let me get this back in here. Careful. I don't want to drip on her.
Don't splash on.
Well, if the dog gets splashed on, I'm thinking it's his own fault. All right. So, here we go. We've got the beef set and ready to go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring...
What?
I splashed on the backdrop. Splash.
Of course you did.
We're going to bring this
My
to
kitchen was just clean.
We're going to bring this to a simmer, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is bring this up to a simmer. We're going to put the cover of the Dutch oven on, nice and tight. And we're looking at about, total time for that, about 1.5, oops, sorry.
Your burner isn't on.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
shut it
intentional?
off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I didn't want to get... So we're going to bring this to a simmer, which on our burner is about number 3. Our burner's got 8 settings, so number 3 is about simmer. Now we're going to simmer this about 1.5 hours, and don't worry if after 1.5 hours, don't worry if the beef is not tender yet, because we still have to add all the other ingredients to get it set and ready to go. So here we go. After 1.5 hours, you're going to go ahead and add your potatoes. You're going to go ahead and add your mushrooms. And remember what I said, too, about if you think it's too thick, ton of water in mushrooms. That's going to thin it out. Then you're going to add your baby carrots. Now, I leave these guys on the top, and we're going to go ahead and cover it again. And now we're going to simmer it for another 30 minutes or so until the potatoes are tender, because that's going to be kind of the gold standard of where the stew is. Then, after the potatoes are tender, and with about 10 minutes left, we're going to add the sugar snap peas, and we get this. So this is now about 2 hours and 15 minutes total time to get where we're at right here. And that is pretty fantastic, right? So we'll check our beef. Beef is nice and tender. We'll check our potatoes. Potatoes are good. Let me grab a little chunk of beef here. There we go. Beef is super tender. Now, one of the things it talks about is a couple different stages of seasoning in here. Depending where you're at on your love of salt and pepper, I added a little bit more than the recipe called for. I wanted to boost up that flavor just a little bit more. So I added a little bit extra salt to finish it. But I'll tell you what, overall, a super easy recipe with a ton of flavor. And then, like we said, grab yourself a nice big huge piece of chunky crusty bread, And we're going to enjoy a little bit of stew tonight with some buttered bread and have an absolutely fantastic Friday evening. So, any questions? Anybody have any questions about how we got where we are? Super easy. It really starts with browning the beef, taking that beef out, then adding that coffee to deglaze, adding your tomatoes, adding your molasses and your Worcestershire, adding that flour, making the sauce. Put the beef back in, let it braise for about an hour and a half, and then add all your veggies. About 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left. Add those sugar snap peas, and you are in a pretty amazing place. Very easy. So hey, like we said, don't forget to head up to that description section. You can grab today's recipe and then go to cobeef.com. That's Colorado Beef Council webpage. We've got a tab up top called Cooking. This is week number 19. So we've been doing this for 19 weeks, getting our Friday recipes going. So you'll have 19 different recipes and videos. We are also going to make this into a YouTube video. So I'll be working at our studio next week to shoot this in a YouTube video. So be able to go to the Colorado Beef Council YouTube channel and grab this video as well. And then, hey, Stock Show weekend. I know it's not happening. I know we can't actually walk into the National Western Complex and get that beautiful aroma of the Stock Show. However, everything is virtual. Go to nationalwestern.com. You can, I can tell you what, you can hang out. We have got virtual events happening this weekend. Catch a Calf, we've got some ag education, virtual shopping. Like, who doesn't love virtual shopping? I mean, you order stuff and then magically it shows up at your house.
It's my favorite.
Right? Absolutely. And then when boxes don't show up, people come and check on you to make sure you're okay because they haven't delivered boxes. Then we have the kids coloring page. So you can go get the Ag Adventure Guide and you can download that. Now, the cool thing, the Ag Adventure Guide is 30-some pages. I clicked through it the other day. A lot of great information. So if you remember, you go upstairs at the Stock Show and you walk through Ag Adventure, you get to learn a little bit about all Colorado agriculture, which is fantastic. So download that guide. Have a blast. Head over to nationalwestern.com. All right, you guys. I'm Chef Jason. Thanks so much to the Colorado Beef Council for having us again at another Friday Night with Beef. And as we always say, a very huge thank you to all of our Colorado ranchers and producers. We know you do such a fantastic job. You never take a day off. Because you're out there caring for your livestock to make sure we always have amazing Colorado beef in our fridges, our freezers, and right here in our bellies. We appreciate that as well. Then don't forget too, if you're looking to buy Colorado beef and you want to support local, which is absolutely amazing, head over to cobeef.com, click on that cooking tab, and there is a locate a rancher where we will match you with a rancher that has beef or give you some information to contact someone that has beef for you. So I'm Chef Jason, hanging out here in front of the camera. Thank you to my lovely wife, Annie, for always running the camera. We will see you guys next month, February 19th. We are going to do a slow cooker. Talk a little bit about a slow cooker. We're going to do whiskey molasses shredded beef. I'm not sure why I'm on a molasses kick, but it's so wintry. So we're going to show you how to use a slow cooker and rock an amazing slow cooked beef, which you can use as a beef entree. You can put it over rice, put it over mashed potatoes. You can make tacos out of it. But again, really the beautifulness of this is being able to cook once and eat twice. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. We will see you in February.